Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contract, service is month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Dr. Kourosh Maddahi on the line. He's a smile transformation expert and founder over at Kourosh Maddahi DDS. He's also CEO over at Lumino Oral Essentials and author of The Toxic Overload, The Truth About Your Body's Natural Defenses and How to Experience Whole Body Health. Dr. Maddahi, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Adam. Happy to be here.
Oh, man, so excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to get a little bit further into your book, The Toxic Overload, and I want to talk more about Lumino Oral Essentials. And just to get us kicked off, maybe tell us a little bit more about your background and kind of how you got started in dentistry and in your business.
Yeah, so, I decided I wanted to be a dentist at age 13, believe it or not. I love to always work with my hands. I love to problem solve, so it was either surgery or dentistry. And I saw my uncle as a general surgeon who was just getting calls in the middle of the night going to the hospital. I decided I wanted more of a structured life in terms of work, and I decided to become a dentist. And I went to USC School of Dentistry, graduated in 1987, and I've been a dentist in the Beverly Hills area for the past 33 years.
Wow, that's awesome. And I think that's a great transition. I want to talk more about Lumino Oral Essentials and kind of how you developed this company and how it came about. So tell us a little bit more about the idea and how you developed your products.
Sure. So 27 years into being a dentist, I had got sort of fed up with all of the different products I was giving to my patients. And I wasn't getting the kind of results that I was looking for. So I started to look into the ingredients of natural products versus major brands versus FDA approved products. And the ingredient list did not make any sense to me. So as an example, everybody wants whiter teeth. Why do we have artificial colors added to our mouthwashes, making it look yellow, blue, purple, green? So why is that? And then if in dental school we are so worried about cancer or cancer screening, why are we putting alcohol in the mouthwash? So some of these things did not make any sense. The pH of the mouthwash and the antimicrobial activity of the toothpaste and mouthwashes, even though 98% of the bacteria in your mouth are healthy bacteria that protect you against disease and infection. So none of that made any sense. So I decided to collaborate with one of my good friends and colleagues who happened to be the chairman of the perio department, gum surgery department at USC for 17 years. And I asked them, I'm looking to create a mouthwash or a toothpaste that is not only it's healthy and safe for daily use, but is also very effective. So we tailored a whole bunch of clinical studies with the ingredients. So the signature ingredient for the products is Dead Sea salt, which has the highest level of mineral salt of any salt on earth. And then I added other things such as xylitol because of this anti-cavity type of activity, and organic aloe vera and different mints with clove and basil to keep the mouth fresh. And the whole concept was this was the first certified non-toxic oral care line in the world. So we came up with a formula that's been now patented and showed that it doesn't kill any healthy cells. Then the second part of it, we went head to head with every single major brand and also FDA-approved types of products to show we are as efficacious as them. And these are independent university studies. We've done over 51 clinical studies, which are all on our website, oralessentials.com. So we figured out a way to have a safe but yet an effective product. And the certified non-toxic was the first breakthrough. The second breakthrough was whitening teeth without the sensitivity, because the most effective ingredient in terms of whitening it's been hydrogen peroxide. But unfortunately, hydrogen peroxide causes sensitivity, gum irritation, and enamel breakdown over time. So being a cosmetic dentist in Beverly Hills, I saw the amount of sensitivity that my patients were experiencing from their whitening toothpaste, mouthwash, even whitening treatments in the office. I looked for an alternative, and that alternative finally came out to be coconut oil, sage oil, lemon peel oil that I added to the mouthwash, toothpaste, and we made the whitening strips. So we were now able to whiten teeth without the sensitivity. So that was the second innovation and breakthrough in terms of the world of oral care. And then the third and most important breakthrough was the whole concept that our body's first defense mechanism is our microbiome. So a lot of people know about the microbiome in the gut and on the skin, but they're not aware that there's microbiome in your eyes. That's why you don't get eye infection every day walking in all sorts of polluted environments. You don't get ear infection every day due to the microbiome in your ears, and also your mouth, where most of the disease comes through, and is the first line of defense is the microbiome inside your mouth that doesn't let the viruses and the harmful bacteria to just sit there and grow. The microbiome is taking up the space. So by using products that are antiseptic and that kills all the bacteria, you're also getting rid of these healthy protective bacteria. So instead of killing bacteria, we came up with a way that we are neutralizing the toxins of harmful bacteria, which is something unheard of, and it goes against 70 years of dental research, dental practice, and dental education. And it's taken many years to prove this concepts with clinical studies, which we were able to finally do, and we've come up with these products. So basically, I used my own expertise in the field of dentistry. I've been a dental expert on many of the major networks, CNN, Oprah, and all of these things, and used that expertise to create an oral care line that's also safe and effective. That's how the transition took place.
Wow, that's amazing. And what I love about it is obviously it took many, many years, and you're really become a pioneer in this space. And then also you tied it up like a nice ribbon or bow. I know you have multiple books, I think 3 books at this point, and your latest one, The Toxic Overload. So the truth about your body's natural defenses and how to experience whole body health. What I like about you rounding all this up is obviously you have the experience, you're an expert in your field. You now have created products to help others and to that maybe wouldn't have been helped otherwise. And now you're also dealing with the education piece of it. So not only did you create the products, but now you're educating the general public on your work and what this means. So talk to me a little bit more about the toxic overload and the inspiration behind this.
Right. So, I think the single theme I want to tell you in terms of everything that I do comes from something that would be innovative, something that's different, something that's not out there. And then I find out what's actually missing. So a lot of people, a lot of your listeners, every day they run into difficulty with certain things and they cannot find quite the right thing. This can be the inspiration for creating something. So in the world of oral care, that's what happened. And then when we're talking about educational piece, I found out that piece of the education was really missing. And what I mean by that is that I was always fascinated. How did we ever survive from the caves to all the way making it here without dying? So there's been so many outbreaks of viruses, bacteria, all sorts of things in the nature. And yet we have survived without really proper medication, without really proper medicine and proper infection control and everything else. Why is that? What is it that we inherently have that helps us? And what I found out is something that's different than what people think. And people normally think it's their immune system, and they're thinking of ways of constantly boosting their immune system. But the immune system is a secondary mechanism. The immune system does not really get kicked in until you have infection or inflammation in your body. Once that happens, once there is trauma, once there is infection, the immune system comes in. But most of the time, you don't have infection and inflammation, even though you're exposed to all sorts of pollutants, to bacteria on surfaces. You were shaking people's hands, touching knobs, everything, doing all of this. And yet, you were not getting sick. And then I found out that this microbiome, which covers the skin of our hands and body, which covers inside our eyes, nose, ears, gut, and also the mouth, is the first line that protects us against these types of infections and inflammation. And making sure that starting to describe how then the microbiome in the mouth protecting your health is actually has something to do and a connection between overall body health. So there's been multiple correlations between gum disease and heart disease, colorectal cancer, lung cancer, Alzheimer's, diabetes, also to early birth babies, premature babies. There's such a connection between what's going on in your mouth and overall health. And the reason for it is that your mouth, not only you can swallow something and it can get into your gut, and through your gut can get into your bloodstream, or what it can also happen is that if you have inflammation, bleeding gums, then what happens is that these harmful bacteria can also penetrate your blood system and go directly to your heart and to the rest of your body. So the mouth is the origination point of digestion, is also a way that you can get things throughout your body just through your mouth. So having a healthy microbiome is a key, but yet when you look out there, everything that we're doing in terms of hand sanitizers, we're destroying the microbiome on our hands. Then with the antiseptic mouthwash and toothpaste, we're destroying the microbiome inside the mouth. With the antibiotic in the meats, we are destroying the microbiome not only in the mouth, but also in our gut. And with the pesticides and everything, they're all antimicrobial. We're constantly destroying this microbiome throughout our body. As a result, there's been such a rise in autoimmune disease due to the rise in use of antibiotics, use of antimicrobial products, also at home with cleaning products, dishwasher soaps, washing machine soaps. Everything has some sort of antibacterial in it, which is not needed. If you want to really protect yourself, you just wash your hands with soap and water. If you want clean surfaces, you just wash it with soap and water. In a medical setting, in a hospital, having hand sanitizers makes sense, but not at home, that you're constantly exposing yourself and your family to these types of harmful ingredients that makes actually destroys your microbiome and it weakens your immune system.
Wow, that's amazing, and I love the fact that you're bringing all of this knowledge in a really well-written and concise book so that people can understand, how their day-to-day influences and choices can affect their health long-term. And 99% of things you just told me, you just taught me a master class. So I hope my audience also got a lot from it, because now I'm sitting here looking at this sanitizer on my desk. I'm thinking about this mouthwash I had this morning. I didn't know about your company then. I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking about all these things now. So my head is spinning with all this stuff that I need to start fixing. And I mean that in a good way, by the way. So it's spinning in a good way.
That's what education. That's the good thing about education. You bring about such simple things that we do every day, and we find out what are the healthy choices. It's not a big deal. Whatever we've done, we cannot do anything about it at this point to go back and change it. But yet we can make choices from starting today. And the whole thing about the book is giving people in 30 days what is that roadmap to having a healthy microbiome. And it talks about step by step. Why buying organic food is more important? Because it doesn't have the pesticide, and pesticides are antimicrobial, and it kills the microbiome. That's the reason. Smoking destroys the microbiome. Drinking alcohol destroys the microbiome. So you got to make sure what actually these things do. And then you divide it up in terms of the products you will slowly change, then to the diet in terms of eating food that is maybe the meat that's grass-fed, no antibiotic, to organic fruits and vegetables, then to also lifestyle changes so that you are living a healthier life. And it's a progression. And there's also a lot of recipes for different dishes that you can make that are microbiome safe and also very, very healthy for you in the book.
Fantastic. So, Dr. Maddahi, I can talk to you about this all day long, and I know I have some homework to do, and I'm going to have to listen to this one again. So that being said, if somebody is listening to this right now and they want to learn more about your practice or your book, or also about Lumina Oral Essentials, I mean, what's the best way for them to connect with your brand overall?
Right. So in terms of my office, we do anti-aging dentistry, cosmetic dentistry, smile transformations. So that's drmaddahi.com, drmaddahi.com. And then in terms of the products, our breakthrough products, mouthwash, toothpaste, whitening strips, toothbrush, and all that is oralessentials.com. And then people can see also all of the studies and everything. And if they have any questions, they can email me as well.
Fantastic. Well, Dr. Maddahi, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and your passion for what you're doing, helping your patients, also educating me and everyone else out there listening to this. So thank you for that. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Dr. Maddahi, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Adam. Thank you for everything you do for your listeners. I really appreciate it.